Nature's Garden wax melt kit. So I already did the unboxing off the camera, so we're gonna put that aside. So everything you're gonna get with this kit, you're gonna get 1 pound of wax, and their wax is Pillar of Bliss. So we're gonna be trying this out together. I've never tried this before. You get 4 clamshell molds, you get instructions, you get a red candle dye, a yellow candle dye. You also get 1 ounce of vanilla bean fragrance and 1 ounce of apple cinnamon fragrance. And then you get 2 pipettes. And I'm assuming the pipettes are probably for the dye, so you don't over pour too much, because the instructions say a little bit goes a long way. So let's get into it. So we're gonna get these ready. I already have my water boiling. You guys probably can hear that in the background. So let's get these out. We'll just do 2 at a time. And I already read the instructions off camera, but what they want us to do pretty much, they want us to melt the 1 pound of Pillar of Bliss wax and let it melt to 195 and take it off, and then get all of our setup together. So we have the yellow dye for the vanilla bean and the red dye for the apple cinnamon, and it said use as many drops as you want. A little bit goes a long way, so we're gonna just follow the instructions and color them exactly how we're supposed to. And then they want us to add the fragrance oil no lower than 180. So that's what we're gonna be doing. So we don't have to measure these out. I did bring my scale, but we don't have to measure it out only because it's already pre-measured. So let's get this out. And again, this wax is for clamshells, tarts, wax melts. So let's pour that in our pitcher. And this is what it looks like. Like that. I've never tried this wax. I've never tried wax like this. So we're gonna see how it goes. And I don't know what the cure time is. I want to say it's 2 weeks, but I'm gonna have to double check on that. So we have that. We're gonna put it in our pot since we already have our water going. And I do have my thermometer already, so let me clip that to my container, and we're going to wait for that to melt. And while we're waiting for that to melt, we're just going to get ready. Let's see. And it also wants us to use separate bowls, since they want us to use half for the vanilla bean and half for the apple cinnamon. So they want us to get separate bowls. So I got this container right here, and I'm going to pour that in there, and then pick one of these and then pour that, and then we'll use the rest out of that container. So we don't need our scale, but normally when you're making candles you will need a scale so you can measure out everything completely. And I did bring my container for the fragrance oil, but since we're going to be using 1 ounce, we don't really need it. So let's see which one we're going to be making first. I think we can do the vanilla bean first, so we can just pull this aside and get that ready, and we'll just wait until our wax melts. Okay guys, so I'm gonna turn my fire down because it said to put it on low while the remaining wax is sitting inside of here. So that's what we're gonna do, and right now it's at about 195. So let's take our thermometer out of there real quick. Get our wax, stir that up some. And since we have to split this in half, I ended up bringing my scale in just so I can get the exact measurements for half, so they have the right amount of wax in there. It's a little bit over. Okay, so it wants it to get down to like 180 before we add the fragrance oil. It wanted us to keep this on the burner, so I'm gonna keep it on the burner, but it is set to low, so let's put that on there. Now let's move our scale out the way. So here's our wax. So the first thing they want us to do is to get the color, and again they said a little bit goes a long way, so it really depends on you how much you want to drop in. I'm thinking maybe 3 drops. 1, 2. Okay, yeah. So we'll just see what color that ends up being, because I don't even know. I've never used liquid dye. Okay, yeah, we may have used a bit much. It might end up being orange, but it's okay because it's ours, it's our preference, and we're using things. That's why it is a kit for a reason. So let's see what the temperature is at. And again, they wanted at least 180 when we add the fragrance oil. Okay, it's at 180 exact. So let's add our fragrance oil, and they said the whole bottle, the whole 1 ounce bottle. Let's get that in there. And what I like to do, I like to at least stir for at least like 30 seconds to a minute, just so it get all up in there and it binds with the wax. So that's what we're gonna do. And then right after you can pour. So that's what the instructions said. Just pour that in there. So we do have a little bit extra, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have a little bit extra when we do the apple cinnamon, but that's okay because it's ours, and who doesn't like extra? So let's slide those over, and let's get the other half of our kit out, and which is the apple cinnamon, our red dye, and our other pipette. So let's check our temperature. Let's turn it fire up a little bit. Put our thermometer back on there. Let's check our temperature and see where we're at. And again, it should still be hot because that didn't take long. So now let's see. We're at about 180 right now. So we're gonna let that get up to 195. So guys, while that is still warming up, I want to show you guys my shirt. This is my logo, Another Candle Burns. For anybody that doesn't know, I have a candle business, and my candle business is called Another Candle Burns. And I just made this shirt. It looks awesome. I just made this with my Cricut. So, okay guys, so it is officially at where it needs to be. And we're not going to get a container for this one. We're just going to use this one. So let's get our red dye per the instructions. And drop that in there. Let's check our temperature. Make sure that it is around 180 before we pour our fragrance oil in. And I gotta say, they're right when they said a little bit goes a long way, and I've never used liquid dye before today. I've only used like the colored chips or mica powder, and I will say I actually kind of like those. I like how vibrant the colors are. Okay, so it's at 180. Let's add our fragrance oil and get ready to pour. And again, we're going to stir for about 30 seconds to a minute, whichever one you prefer. Oh, this apple cinnamon is strong. Okay, now let's pour that in there. And I like to pour with my spatula because I feel like it controls the wax and it doesn't splash up at you. And again, we actually have extra of this too. So we're going to set both of those aside and we can do something with that later. So that concludes this video. So again, this kit is from Nature's Garden and it's the clamshell kit, and the wax that we used today was the Pillar of Bliss, and it came with 2 1-ounce fragrance oil, 1 apple cinnamon, the other one vanilla bean, and it also came with 2 dyes, 1 red, 1 yellow, 4 clamshells, and also instructions. So if you guys would like to try this kit out, go to Nature's Garden and check that out. I want to say maybe the kit was 20 bucks, maybe, I'm not sure. But yeah, it is pretty much a good kit for people that's trying out different wax and don't want to buy at least 5 pounds or 10 pounds. So this was a great kit to try, and that's exactly why I tried it, because I was thinking about leaning towards this one, but we're going to see how these two are before I take that that chance. But again, if you guys want to check this out, this is what the kit looks like, and this is all the stuff that's in it. And if you guys want to check out my website, it's www.anothercandleburns.com. If you guys want to check out our Facebook, our Instagram, TikTok, our Pinterest, every social media that we have, it's Another Candle Burns. And again, thank you guys for watching. Bye.